And welcome to another ADHD Customs. In today's episode we're going to be changing the oil and oil filter on my PD150 engine. It's in my B3 Passat and I've got nothing but the best. Here we go. Nothing but the best for my car. They don't do these in 5. It's weird. This is specially designed for this PD engine apparently, but they only come in 4 litre bottles and 1 litre bottles, but the PD for engine takes 4.5 litres. So yeah, they're clever, aren't they? They like to make money. Got myself a Mann oil filter, and right, let's get to the car. Right now, I'm currently warming the engine up in the car. So let's see what the temperature is at right now. It's not quite there yet. We're just warming the engine up in the car so the oil gets hot and more fluidic, if that's a word. Oh, my engine's dirty. So yeah, we're gonna let that heat up, and once it's heated up, then we'll start with the oil change.
A few moments later.
Okay, engine is now warmed up. First thing I'm going to do is jack the car up and get it in the position with an axle stand underneath so I can get under the car and drain the oil out. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that the oil filter they've given me is the right one. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, this is the oil filter in this car, this long tube here. You've got to unscrew this. I've got myself a special tool, this here, but I've got to put an extra tool in this little hole just so it grips properly. So I've got to put that in there. Then I put that on there, squeeze, and then I'm able to turn it. There we go. There we go. Right, I should be able to do this by hand now. There we go. That should come off by hand. Yep. Right, it's going to be hot. The reason I'm doing the oil filter first is because I don't want to take all the oil out of the car and then suddenly realise that it's the wrong filter. So let's get this off. Take this out. Just place that down there. Right. Let me get the new filter out of the box. Okay, we've got the new filter here, we've got the old one here. Let's pull it out and just make sure they're the right size. Look at all that oil still in there. Look at that. Well, they look basically the same to me. Yep. This actually, you know what, I'm going to put this on the towel. And I can size them up properly. Here we go. There we go. They are the same size. That's got a little thing on the bottom. I don't know why. But yeah, they're the same size filters. Like that. That goes like that. Yep, they look the same. Okay. Right, they're the same one. So let's get the oil out of the car, shall we? Right, now time to jack the car up. Okay, car's up in the air. Axle stand is underneath. Never forget an axle stand. You never want to get under a car without an axle stand. So now I'm going to lay in the wet, get under the car and see what size bolt this is in the sump plug. So hopefully it's a 19. Nope, sump plug is actually a Torx bit, I think. Looks like a Torx bit or a Allen key bit. It's more than likely going to be a Torx bit. So I've got to now hunt through my mangled tools that are in my workshop and see if I can find the right bit for it. So bear with me.
Eventually.
Okay, it is a Torx bit. I couldn't tell you what size it is because I just found it. I think the one I've got is actually a bit small, so hopefully I don't round this off. But I get that in there, and there we go. Undone that. Oil catcher underneath, and then the trick is to undo this and try not to lose the washer in the oil. Is there a washer there? Right. And this should all pour out. Fingers crossed. There we go. There it goes. Right. I'm going to put this on the towel over there. I'll move this here. Right, let's move that there, and let's let that drain. Let's let it drain, and then we'll get out and do the oil filter. Now we're back to where the oil filter was. Underneath my oil filter there's actually an oil cooler with with one of these on the bottom, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to undo that and drain the oil cooler or not, or if that just removes the oil cooler. I don't know. So I'm going to clean out in here with lots of tissue and stuff. So I'll get on with that.
One pair of pants later.
Right, that is all cleaned out in there, as you can see, but there's a tube there that goes down to the oil cooler, I think, that that looks like it's still full of oil there, so it's making me think that the oil cooler needs to be drained as well. But I've looked at videos on the PD150 engine and no one ever mentions draining the oil cooler when you're doing oil change, so I suppose it must be a tiny amount compared to what's going in. But yeah, I'm just have to just going to change the oil filter then. Right, get the oil filter. There's no particular way, is there? Does it mention made in Spain? Nope, doesn't mention a particular way round. Inside looks alright. Nothing mentions. Oh, hang on. That goes like that, and that weighs like that. So, okay, so I think it's this way. That's the way I took it out. So that must go that way. There, that's in there. And now, in the pack, you get 2 O-rings, a little one and a big one, which are for replacing this O-ring here and this little O-ring on the top there, which I will do now off camera.
A few moments later.
Okay, there you go, new one's on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger in, I'm just going to put my finger in the oil, get a little bit of oil on it, and I'm going to rub it around the rubber seals top and bottom, just so when I screw that down it goes on nice without snagging. Okay, now put this back in there, let that line up, screw that back on, let the rubber grommet seat there, and then just slowly do it up. Try not to snag that rubber. I'll just put on, I'm going to use these to help. Oh, sorry. There we go, nice and tight. What I've just done now is I've took the axle stand out and I've dropped the car down just above the, it's still draining out, because the engine was at an angle. Some of the oil was sitting in one side of the sump, so I've dropped the engine level now and I'm going to let it drain for, just going to leave it for a few minutes to drain properly. I want all the horrible old oil out. As you can see, it's currently still dripping, so I'm just going to leave it for 15 minutes while I tidy up my tools or something, because I want every bit of oil that I can get out. So yeah. Right, as you can see, it has now stopped dripping, so we're going to put our sump plug back in. I'm going to try and do this while holding the camera. Oh, hang on, I don't fit under the car. Let me try and get under the car a bit more. Right, let's try and get this sump plug back in there. I don't want to do what I've done before and accidentally drop the sump plug into the oil. That's never good. Okay, so that sump plug's back in. Just doing it up. Move this out of the way for a minute, and now time to tighten it up. You don't want to go too tight with this. You don't want to end up cracking the sump or buggering the stripping the threads on it. So just, you haven't got to go too tight. There we go. That'll do. Okay, sump plug is back in, oil filter's in. I'll touch it up. Let's get the axle stand out from under the car. Let's drop the car back down to the ground. Oh, I might need 2 hands for this one, a bit oily. There we go, car's back on the ground. Right, time to start putting some oil in. Right, oil filter's in. Just going to clean that up a bit. That's all done up. Now I've just got to put oil in here. There's a lot of oil in this oil filter housing, so I had to clean all that out. I think I already pointed it out actually. Right, so where's the funnel? This takes 4.5 litres of oil, so I'm just going to first of all just put the 4 litres in, and then I'll start topping up the rest to get it level with the other litre bottle. So let's start putting this in. Hopefully it'll be quite easy to get this in here. Some cars are a mite bastard to get oil into these days. Always remember to put your sump plug in before you put the oil in. I've done that before and it just poured out the bottom of the car. Where have you heard that sound before? Ooh. It's going in quite quick actually. You can probably pour this in. Wow, this is really easy to put oil in. Just pour it straight in. That is 4 litres in already. There we go. minute. Give its bottom a wipe. Let's see where that is on the dipstick. Wonder if it'll even show up on the dipstick yet. Oh, it is. Ah, look, that's at full. So what I want to do is I'm going to start the engine now, let it circulate so the oil filter will fill up, and then I'll check it again. Yeah, so right, let it run, let it circulate, let it cool down, see where it sits. Don't forget to put your cap back on. Let's give that a clean up, get the old oil off. There we go, right, let's give it a start up. Okay, that should have circulated the oil around the engine enough, and it should have filled up the oil filter housing. So let's let the engine oil settle for a bit, and then we'll check the level again and top up from there.
A few moments later.
Okay, that should have had enough time to settle now. It's been about 10 minutes, so that'll do for now. Let's check the level. Yep, so it's down on the dipstick, so let's top it up. It takes 4.5 litres apparently, so we'll just see how much it does take. Although, like I said before, there might be some left in the oil cooler, but we'll see, won't we? That's 1/2 litre, so that should be the exact amount this car takes. We'll find out. Well, not this car, because I should say this engine, because this engine is not meant for this car. Give it time to sink to the bottom. There we go. Bang on the exact amount. Happy days. Put the cap back on. Oil change and oil filter change done. That's that from this video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos and all that stuff. Be lots more content coming up soon. In the summer there's going to be a lot of content with shows and all that stuff going on as well. So for now, see you later.